This is an introduction to lead groups in Thrive Leads. So first of all, in your dashboard, at any time you can create a new lead group by clicking on this Add New button and then giving your lead group a name and clicking on Add Lead Group. Inside a lead group, there are two main things you can do. First of all, you can click on this to open up the different types of opt-in forms inside the lead group. And then there's also this little gear icon with the display settings. And here you can determine where the forms in this group will be shown. And this brings us to what the definition of a lead group is. A lead group is one or more types of opt-in forms that are automatically shown based on rules you determine. Sounds a bit complicated, but you'll see exactly what I mean in just a second. So first of all, we have these different types of opt-in forms all inside a lead group. We have the ribbon, lightbox, widget, post, footer, and slide in. And here are some examples of what these forms actually look like. The ribbon type form is one like this that sticks to either the top or the bottom of your screen. Then we've got the lightbox type form that overlays all of your content and appears in the center of the screen. Then we've got the widget type form. Typically this will be added in a sidebar widget, but it can be added to any kind of widget area in your theme. And then we have the post footer type form. This will be shown at the bottom of your blog posts. And finally, we've got the slide in, which will also appear on top of your content, but it slides in from the side, from a corner, so it isn't quite as intrusive as a lightbox, but it's still quite attention grabbing. So those are the different types of opt-in forms that you can create inside a lead group. You can show multiple of these form types at the same time on the same pages, and you can even show all of them, although that would be overkill. It's not recommended to do that, obviously, right? But you can have, let's say, a widget showing and also a post footer showing and also a lightbox showing, and those wouldn't conflict too strongly with each other. But you can also create a lead group for just one single type of opt-in form, so you don't have to have multiples in here. At first it might seem a bit confusing that we have these lead groups and we have different types in the same group and stuff like that, but there are two huge advantages to this setup, and these are the two reasons why it's set up like that. The first big advantage is that you can create relevant targeted offers on existing content. So even if you have a website that already has hundreds of pages that's been around for a long time, you can create, based on a few simple rules, you can create highly targeted offers for your audience, which drives up conversions all through the funnel. This is super powerful. So let me just give you a quick look at this. This is where the display settings come into play. And what you can do here is you have some very simple settings where you can just say, show these forms on all posts and all pages and stuff like that. But you can also be much more detailed. So you can determine that you want to show a lead group or group of forms on a specific category or in a group of categories. You can also show them on specific templates, page templates. And you can, the targeting options here are extremely extensive. So you can determine exactly by which rules which forms should display where. There's a separate video you can watch here that explains this in more detail, but the bottom line is that you can simply make much more targeted, much more relevant offers all across your website. The second big advantage is that you can test different opt-in types against each other. This has never before been possible in any kind of lead generation plugin for WordPress. And here it is quite simple. All you have to do is you have to create at least 2 of these different types of forms. So I've quickly done this by adding a lightbox and a slide in. And as you can see, as soon as you have at least 2 different forms, you have this button that says test types of forms against each other. And you can do this to actually find out, for example, what you get higher conversions from a lightbox or from a slide in or from a post footer or whatever. So you can actually test different types of forms against each other to see what works best on your website. A final note about lead groups is that you can drag and drop them to change the order, and the order determines the priority. So if you have lead groups with overlapping display rules, right, there are some places where both of these lead groups are determined to be shown, what will happen is that the higher priority one, the one higher in the list, will be the one that's shown and the other one will be ignored. So instead of having, because it would be very bad to have, let's say, 2 different light boxes opening on the same page. You wouldn't want that. So the order in which these groups are set in this list here determines the priority by which the forms are shown. So now you can see how incredibly powerful the lead groups in Thrive Leads are.